Here we are. We got our dough ready. Check it out. I already let it rise once. We didn't go through the process of making dough again because I have my dough process. It's the same recipe in our pizza video, and I'll also put the link down below the video, and I'll also put a link to the recipe for my dough down below the video. Alright, we'll get started on these cinnamon rolls. Just like in my pizza video, I don't like dealing with a lot of flour, so usually I'll just oil my counter down. You may not even have to oil it. I'm just using a precaution so my dough doesn't stick. Alright, we got that all done. Now you can buy dough already made at Publix, Kroger, sometimes Aldi's if they have it. But basically my cinnamon rolls are pretty much freeform. I'm going to show you here just now.
It's looking good.
Well, you know what? Not really worried about it getting too messy or having perfect cinnamon rolls or any of that. So, this is good. I'm going to quit playing with it. I just want to make sure I can start rolling it up when I get ready to. Alright, I'm going to check my butter. I feel like it needs to be a little bit softer. I'm going to microwave it for a second or two. Yeah! Alright, butter's nice and soft. Just get it out there on that cinnamon roll. And you can go buy a recipe. You can find you a good recipe on allrecipes.com. But I just been making cinnamon rolls so long, bigger than this and smaller at home ones too, that I don't even mess with worrying about it anymore. I just go by what looks good. But I just want to show you this simple, quick, easy process, because if you feel good enough, free enough to just try things out and go with it, you can do it this style right here. So I laid down my butter. That was about a stick of butter. Now if you're going to be eating cinnamon rolls, you can't be worried about being on no diet or having no diet cinnamon rolls. Alright, this right here is some Saigon cinnamon I have. I mean, it's just a little bit different taste from regular cinnamon. And I get this from my buddy Gary over at spicesbysarah.com. Lay down, you like heavy cinnamon, lay it down heavy. You like it light, do that. Here you go, over here in the light. Alright, that's from my buddy Gary. We're gonna do, and just like when you have caramel or baked goods or salted goods, we're gonna lay down a little pinch of salt in there to go with the sweet stuff. Alright, a little bit of pinch of salt. Maybe we'll do a little bit more. I don't worry about doing a sweet dough for my cinnamon rolls because all the sweet stuff goes on top and inside of it. So now, we're just going to get the brown sugar out. Layer that out. And mostly I'm just eyeballing this. You just look at it, see how much you want on there. Get your hands dirty. Let's get some more back here on the back side. Some recipes will tell you to do both kinds of sugar, one kind of sugar. I mean, you do the sugar you want to do. Today, I did the brown sugar. I'm gonna go ahead and do a little bit of white sugar too. I'm gonna use the other hand because I already got the one hand messed up with brown sugar. I'm not gonna go dipping off in there. That's basically how I roll. A lot of cinnamon, a little bit of salt, a lot of brown sugar, a little bit of white sugar. Now, I'm start taking up the ends. You want it to go all the way to the end, just use your fingers and smash it out. For the rest of it, it's going to smash out when you roll it up. Get this started. Doesn't have to be pretty. It can be ugly. You the one eating it. And once you bake it up, it's going to look different anyway. All right. Got it rolled up. Yeah. Looking good. Good and rolled up. Looking fat. I try not to roll it too tight. All right. Let me get me a pan or 9x13. Glass or metal is fine. Let me get one of those out, and I'm going to get something sharp to cut the cinnamon rolls. Sometimes I just use a piece of thread and twist it through, and I'll show you. Probably like your grandmother did if she used to make cinnamon rolls. All right, found my good pan I wanted to use. Good old Pyrex. Spray it down real good. Get my pan ready. Now, this may be hard to see. I got a string or a thread from my sewing machine. And you slide it right underneath the cinnamon roll. Bam! Look at there. Your mom or your grandma might have used to do it this way. I don't know. Maybe they didn't. It's got one of the cleanest, nicest cuts you can get. Sometimes when you use knives or bench scrapers to cut, it just smushes down the dough, which is not what we want. We want nice, fluffy cinnamon rolls to raise up. If you're from the South and you know what a cat head biscuit is, then you want these to raise up like as big as a cat head. Not the biscuit, but the actual head of the cat. All right. Those are looking good. I think I got looking like I got the right size pan for it too. Tytus, you gonna be excited to have some cinnamon rolls?
Yeah, I can't wait.
I know you and your brother love cinnamon rolls.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this might not came out exactly even, but that's okay. Let's put these two right in here. All right. Now, my counter was pretty much clean, so I'm gonna scrape all my little brown sugar right off on top of it. You got that, Tytus?
Yeah, that looks amazing.
All right, we're gonna put this. I'm gonna put this in a cold oven. It's really a little bit warm. I'm just gonna use it to rise. We're gonna do about 30 minutes. Let this rise before we bake it. But I heated up the oven just a little bit because it's kind of cold outside today, and then I turned it off. So we'll do it that way. Otherwise, you can leave it on the counter or on top of the stove. Just give it time for the dough to rise. Right, for the cinnamon rolls we're doing today, I'm going to do a quick, it's kind of like a glaze, in between a glaze and a frosting I like for the cinnamon rolls. We're going to use cream cheese, butter, vanilla extract, a pinch of salt, a little lime juice because I like to hit it with a little acidity, maybe a tablespoon or two of milk. Let's see how it works out. For the cream cheese and the butter, I'm going to hit it in the microwave for a couple of seconds just to get it softened up. Get my little spatula. Wow! All right, a couple more seconds. We can go ahead and put our little splash of lime in there. Gives us a nice little tart taste. Ooh, of course. Yeah, there we go. I'm gonna go ahead and do the extract. You say, how much is the extract? Well, recipes will tell you a teaspoon. Sometimes a tablespoon. That's alright. They can find their best vanilla extract they like. All right, let's go ahead and get this in there. Everything's softened up real nice. I got 3/4 of a cup of powdered sugar. The cream cheese was 2 ounces. The butter was 3 tablespoons, 4 tablespoons, I think. 4 pats. Let's get that in there. Pop, 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 pop. Put that in the sink. Let's give it a little whirl to see where we're at with the thickness. Get my little power thing here. You got it, Titus? Let's give it a little whirl, see where we're at. Alright, let's take a little look at it. It's looking pretty good. I need to scrape a little bit of that butter and cream cheese off the side. Let's see what we got. It's pretty good. We need that little pinch of salt. Bring the flavor out. Looks like a good consistency. And we're done with that. We'll probably put it in a piping bag or just put it with a cake frosting spreader, and that'll go across the top of our cinnamon rolls when we get done baking them up. All right, we're back. And we've let the cinnamon rolls rise for 30 minutes. And now we're just going to pop them in the oven at 375. I'm going to show you what they look like real quick. And then we're going to get them in the oven. Look at that bad boy. Those jokers are ready to pop out of the pan already. But we're going to get these in the oven. We'll come back and give you a good look at them when they're done. See you later. I think the cinnamon rolls are ready. I think they've been at 375 for about 30 minutes, 25, 30 minutes. 375 is what I preheated the oven for. Let's get them out. Alright, let me get a close up of that. There we go. Gotta put them up here. And believe it or not, bread has a temperature. It's usually between 190 and 220. We're going to check these out in the center of the middle cinnamon roll. See where we're at. Oh yeah, 207. I think we're doing really good. And it's going to take a little while to cool down. As you see, it's kind of crusty on top, but as some of you know who's baked bread, the bread gets soft the longer it sits here. And if you don't like this dry look or whatever, you can always touch it up with a little spray on top. That's a little trick sometimes we do. I mean, you could use regular butter too. And you could always do a little ta-da. And sometimes when you do that, you see it starts browning up a little bit more. But anyways, I just wanted to show you that trick. We're going to let these cool down, and then later we're going to put the icing on them and try them out. I almost forgot. Let me show you the bottom real quick. Looks nice and kind of caramely rich.
Oh man, that looks good.
All right. See you in just a little bit to top it off with the glaze. All right, you know how to do the little Ziploc bag trick for a piping bag? We put it in a big Ziploc bag, cut the corner out. I'm going to squish out my little glaze real quick. You can just spread it on with a cake frosting spreader. That's fine. I just thought I'd do it real quick. Show you how it goes. Make it look good. I like to get it on there while it's still kind of hot. And then if it melts down, no problem. Alright, I'm going to finish the rest of the frosting, or glaze, whatever you want to call it, off camera. But Titus, you want to zone in on that real quick? It's looking good. It's going to be pretty tasty. Like I said, you don't need any sweetener in the bread dough itself because you got plenty in the cinnamon roll and plenty of glaze going on top. Alright, Titus, you want to try it out? Tell us if it's still nice and soft. It's a little bit warm, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I let it cool down some.
It's warm. Chewy. Cinnamony. Yeah.
Good flavor in the glaze.
You got it all in this bite.
Looking good.